Joining me now is Edward Luce, U.S. National Editor at the Financial Times, based in Washington. Ed Luce, what is the biggest takeaway? Is it that, as Joe Biden claims, a victory for democracy and the Democrats, or is it, as Donald Trump claims, that he has lived to fight another day?
Well, that's really the $64 trillion question, Rajdeep. I think the consensus, and it's one I share, is that Tuesday night was a very bad night for Donald Trump. He's really the sort of key loser from the midterm elections, chiefly because the candidates he had promoted and endorsed for Senate and for governorships around the country almost all lost, whereas more moderate or less extreme Republicans that didn't have the Trump stamp, they won. So voters clearly differentiated between Trumpian Republicans and less Trumpian Republicans, and it was the latter that did well. And then his potential, really only serious rival, Ron DeSantis, had a thumping night with a massive re-election victory as governor of Florida. And Trump is already now targeting DeSantis. He's got a nickname for him, and that's usually a telltale sign, Ron DeSanctimonious, which I think just has too many syllables to catch on, frankly. But it was a bad night for Trump. The only other thing is that it looks like he's still going to go ahead and launch his 2024 campaign next Tuesday from Mar-a-Lago, and this is in spite of the fact pretty much every senior Republican in the land is begging him not to.
And what about the Democrats on the other side? There's talk that Joe Biden is also considering, at the age of 80, to re-run for U.S. president, or do you believe that the Democrats will also now have to think twice before pushing ahead with the Biden presidency?
That's a very important question. Biden, with some reason, believes he is the Trump slayer. He's the only one who's defeated Trump. Hillary Clinton, of course, lost to Trump. And now again, he's demonstrated that he can make a midterm election, which are almost always referendums on the sitting president. He turned it into a choice between him and Trump and did very well out of it. By all other measures, the Democrats should have lost very badly on Tuesday night. Biden's approval rating's pretty low. It's only just above 40%. Inflation is close to double digits. Crime waves are happening across urban America. The Democrats should have had a shellacking, a thumping. And the fact that they didn't is because Trump was involved. Trump became part of the equation. And Biden, therefore, will take some encouragement in spite of his age, in spite of the fact he is visibly slowing. He will take some encouragement from that he's the only one who can defeat Trump. And I suspect not every Democrat will agree with him.
So in a sense, it appears net at the end of the day, America left with very few options. Trump clearly on the back foot, but no clarity over whether this vacuum, who or what next in America. You could have a House taken over by the Republicans. The Senate is unclear. So America heading for a couple of years of uncertainty.
Yeah, we're going to have some very sort of vitriolic theater in Washington, because it looks like the House will be Republican. I think that the Senate will stay Democratic. I might be wrong, but I think on edge it'll go to the Democrats. But the Republicans want to do revenge impeachments. They want to impeach Biden. I'm not quite sure for what crime, high crime or misdemeanor. But as you remember, Trump was impeached twice by a Democratic House, and the Republican House wants to bury the White House in subpoenas and demands and investigations. So there's going to be a lot of rather toxic theater in Washington, D.C. I guess the question is whether Biden will be able to use that to say, look, the House, the Republican House is a madhouse. It's a circus. Whereas I'm trying to govern here, and use that to boost his ratings. That would be the sort of plan A.
Right. Okay. So in a sense, uncertain times for the United States, but interesting time because the strongman cult of Donald Trump has clearly taken a beating in these polls. Ed, Luce, as always, a pleasure talking to you from there in Washington. Thank you very much.